Your standard liability limits on your home, renters, or auto policy probably offer a decent amount of protection. But what happens if you exhaust these limits in the event of a large accident that results in a large claim? Well, to seek extra protection, you should consider a personal umbrella policy. Now, as mentioned, you may have substantial liability limits on your primary dwelling, your home policy, or your auto policy. But even with those limits of, let's say, $300,000, $500,000, depending on the circumstances, you can exhaust those based on the claim amount, or if you're held legally responsible for compensating somebody else in the event of a claim. Legal defense costs add up pretty quickly, and also court rulings have continued to increase on an average basis year over year. With that in mind, if you exhaust that previously mentioned liability limit on your primary homeowners or auto policy, the rest of the payment to the affected party has to come out of your own pocket. Now, that is the case unless you have a personal umbrella policy. If you have an umbrella policy, you can think about it, or you don't. The easiest way to think about it theoretically is the actual umbrella analogy. It goes over top of the auto and the home policy that you already possess. With that in mind, if either of those respond to an accident or a claim, and you exhaust the liability limits that you have on that policy via paying for medical bills or injuries or different sorts of legal fees from a lawsuit that you were presented with by the affected party, then your umbrella policy then responds after those limits. And the good news is an umbrella policy begins at a $1 million limit, and it can be purchased at a fraction of the cost of adding that much in liability insurance on a primary policy. You can continue to increase limits above 1 million, typically up to about 10 million for most companies, and that can be done at a fairly affordable rate as well. You might want to increase it beyond 1 million if perhaps you have more risk exposure because of what you have available on your property, like a swimming pool, or perhaps you just have more interaction with more risk activity, like you have a driver in your household that is a teenager, or perhaps you're hosting often get-togethers with friends and family. You're responsible for those people's safety when they're on your property, and you never know what can happen. It's better to plan ahead and be proactive in almost every case and obtain something like this so that in the event that you are faced with a lawsuit and perhaps a court rewards the counterparty with a substantial sum, you're prepared and you have something to fall back on and your own financial well-being is intact. Now, if you'd like to hear more about getting an umbrella policy or just get general information on what the benefits are, you're absolutely welcome to reach out to us here at Joy Insurance. Our phone number is 845-342-4888, and you can also email me at liam@joyinsurance.com. Thanks.